Hi guys, welcome back to Learning English and Literature. In this video, I will show you what you should not do when attempting summary writing in WASSCE. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and let us reach a wider audience. Before we begin, let me first let you know that WASSCE summary carries 30 marks. There are always 6 questions, 5 marks for each. Actually, this is the section where you can actually get 30 over 30. The first thing you need to take note is that your answers must be in full sentences, okay? Except you are using the preamble form or the preamble method, okay? But please, if you're writing the sentence form, your answers must be in complete sentences. As you can see here, this is a past question. WASSCE summary carries 30 marks and you are advised to spend 50 minutes. The questions are always 6. Once you have your answers, which I'm going to show you in the next video, you make sure you follow these rules, okay? If you give any wrong spelling, you will lose half mark, or rather half a mark for each. Any wrong spelling here, you will lose half a mark. So instead of giving you 5 marks here, they'll give you 4.5. So please make sure you get your spellings correctly. If you make punctuation errors, if you present your answer this way and you do not apply the full stop, even if the answer is correct, for the fact that you did not apply the punctuation mark full stop, you will lose half a mark. If you wrongly apply the capital letters, you will also lose half a mark. For example, if you do something like this, you will lose 1 mark. And WASSCE will not stop there. They will still check if you made spelling errors or you made punctuation errors. So that's how they keep deducting your marks till you get to 0. So please take this seriously. If you make any grammatical error, you will lose half a mark. For example, if you write something like this, ask you, maybe the question is, where is your father? And you want to respond and you give them something like this. He didn't dare. Now, this grammatical, this is not even English. So they will have more reasons to deduct more than half a mark from you. For number 5, deduct 1 mark for inclusion of irrelevant or extraneous material in each scoring answer. If they ask you to state one thing that the boy was doing in his room, just give them one thing. If the answer is the boy is dancing in his room or the boy is watching television, just give them one answer. If you add, like you give them 2 things, you will lose half mark. You will lose 1 mark, okay? So instead of scoring you 5 here, you actually get 4 marks. Remember, after losing 1 mark, they will now go back to check for spelling errors, punctuation errors, wrong use of capital letters, and grammatical errors, okay? Yes, remember I warned at the beginning, your answers must be in complete sentence. If you give them phrases, you will not lose half a mark, you will lose half the entire mark. That means 5 divided by 2, you will get 2.5. WASSCE examiners, after giving you 2.5, they will not stop there. They will go back to find out if you made spelling errors, grammatical errors, wrong use of capital and small letters, punctuation errors, and if you added extraneous materials. So you might end up scoring 0. For number 7, if you copy verbatim, you just lift the words or your answer word for word from the passage, the examiners will give you 0. Number 8, where 2 answers are given in one, mark 1 and disregard the other. Now, you pray you don't have this examiner that will disregard the correct one and mark the wrong one. So please just abide, or rather, please adhere to WASSCE instructions. Finally, avoid using the conjunctions except where necessary. Now, if you use conjunctions in your answers, you will be tempted to write more, okay? You will be tempted to write more, and you know that WASSCE summary has everything to do with brevity, okay? Not verbosity. So If you avoid all these errors, you will get your complete 5 marks. So let me go through them once more. Your answer is correct. You've delivered them. You've written your answer. If you make one spelling error, you lose half a mark. If you make one punctuation error, you lose half a mark. If you place the capital letters in the wrong place or you give a wrong use of capital letter, you lose half a mark. For every grammatical error, you will lose half a mark. If you include extraneous materials, okay, you will lose 1 mark. If your answer is not written in a complete sentence, you will lose half the entire mark. That means 5 divided by 2. If you copy and paste, you'll get 0. Where 2 answers are given in 1, the examiner will choose to disregard any one. Okay? Do not use conjunctions. If you use conjunctions, you will be tempted to write more. And wide summary writing is all about brevity and not verbosity. Thank you. But please, before you leave, hit the subscribe button and let's reach a wider audience.